We're recording, so you might be surprised to hear, at least it was surprising for me, to find out that classic era, as in no Burning Crusade, no Wrath of the Lich King, but not the hardcore servers that are going to be coming out. Just a regular vanilla WoW, as people would call it, is actually doing really well, regardless of the time of day that you're playing. I am in North America, and as you can see here by the population, there's a plethora of people that are playing, and there's a bunch of servers that are actually on full, even medium here. And what I wanted to share with you really quickly is if you were thinking of playing hardcore for the reasons like me, that I do like the original version of WoW alongside Wrath of the Lich King. They're very different enough for me to be able to potentially justify dipping my toes into both. If you look at a website here that I'm going to link down below here, I annexed, Europe just to keep it simple because most people that watch me are in North America anyways. We could see here that on Whitemane, it is pretty, decently balanced, if you will. And there's a lot of people, 2152 Alliance, almost 3100 Horde. And then if you just want to play Alliance, Mancrick, it's a PvE server though, which I kind of prefer nowadays. I don't care about doing the world PvP shit. Alliance on Mancrick is the highest population one, even much ahead of some of these other ones. A little bit confusing why some of them only have like 65, like on Arcanite Reaper, but yet they're supposedly full. It's a little bit confusing for me. Maybe you can make better sense of that than I. And it seems like nobody's playing Horde. Unless they're on Whitemane, and I really wanted to play an original Torn Resto Druid on a classic server. Unfortunately, it's PvP, but whatever. So what did I just say a moment ago that was weird? Arcanite Reaper, which is a PvP server. So if we go here, Arcanite Reaper, yeah, you see, it's full. I don't know why the number is so low, but it's considered full. Not even too sure. But the point is Whitemane seems to be the place for Horde. And if you don't mind a normal server and you want to be Alliance, then Mancrick is the place for you to go. And for me, it's just really nice because, like I said, there's some things about the original WoW that I do like. It's much more difficult. It's much harder to gear in and stuff like that. But ultimately, in the end, I just really, really enjoy it. And if I do something like, even early in the morning, like 8 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock, Pacific time, if we go, I have my steering wheel, so I have to type with one hand here. Like, holy macaroni and cheese. There's 27 people in Hillsbrad Foothills. I'm lucky to usually find between 4 and maybe 8 people in that area. If I go and do /who, $46 people in Stranglethornvale. There's a level 1 in Stranglethornvale. They can't be taken seriously. And you do have people, of course, that are like sort of kind of merged, not really from other servers, as you could see people from Fairbanks, Blomur. I think the idea is every PvP, don't quote me on this, PvP server's kind of been lumped together, sort of, kind of, not really. I don't know, which could potentially explain why every server is full. I don't know. Anyways, you kind of not always sort of get a gist of a population by looking at certain, there's well over 50. It'll never show you more than 50. And then 1,000 Needles can be a little bit of a hit and miss here. But still, 14 people and 1,000 Needles at 5 o'clock Pacific. That is absolutely crazy. So the other thing, too, that I was thinking was playing on a Wrath of the Lich King server for one of my alts on one that has a much higher population, like a really, really high population, potentially a higher population than this classic one here, this classic era, rather. Classic era, no expansions versus classic Wrath or classic BC, which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. No, it doesn't. They forced people to go to Wrath there. because you only have this as your map. There's no Northrend. There's like nothing else. There's no Outlands. This is it. Eastern Kingdom or Kalimdor. Concentration of people. If you want the world to feel alive, even though there's nobody around me right now, that's not the point. This is going to do it for you. And if you don't mind PvP, then White Mane PvP Classic Era is for you. If you want to be Horde on a PvE server, I don't know what to tell you. As you saw in that list, I couldn't really find anything. Maybe more digging around needs to be done. But these websites are actually fairly reliable because of what they incorporate for information. And I guess I could go over that with you really quick here. Welcome to Warcraft Taverns. WoW Classic Era server population tool. No more guessing what low or high population means, and no more creating an alliance character. Only discover that your server is 90% Horde. The data is sourced from active raiders on Warcraft logs and active players on the PvP leaderboards as well. So active means that players that appeared in the leaderboards or on the Warcraft list, WCL, in the last 30 days. Leaderboards, Warcraft leaderboards. On the first table, you can find population data for all realm clusters. That's what they're called. So groups of classic era realms that got connected. On the second table, you'll find the population data for each individual realm. Okay. So again, these are like the clusters. I don't personally look at this myself, but it could be worth mentioning. Again, Euro. I'm not in Euro. No offense. Maybe you are, so you could click it. There's not a lot of Horde anywhere that I can find, like I said, apart from on White Mane. So this could be something for you to potentially look into. I was completely floored when I found out that this was a thing. And then I said, when did these become alive again? They're like, well, people are preparing, they're testing stuff out for hardcore mode. And I'm like, but you can already play on the PTR and you don't even need an active subscription to be on the PTR, to be playing the classic era hardcore. So that, to me, didn't make any sense. No, there's a lot of people that are just simply playing nowadays for whatever reason, and it could partially be because of that merge that they did with some of the servers. So, anyways, I don't want to make this video too much longer than it needs to be. I just kind of wanted to rant and share with you that for me, this is kind of exciting after 20 years, starting back with a fucking level 4 character in a real vanilla. I don't even know why they call it vanilla. I mean, vanilla is still a flavor when you think about it. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, let me know down below if you made it this far into the video, what you think. Does this excite you? Is this now opening your eyes that if you want to play in Classic Era, you do not have to play the hardcore server? Because the other thing, too, that Blizzard has stated, at least from what I've read here and there, don't take this too serious, is that regardless of how you got killed, it's very, very unlikely that you're ever going to be able to argue with them, justified or not, as to why you got killed and as to why they should bring your character back, if you will. So there are some exploits where people are purposely disconnecting other people while they're flying, and then they come back, they log in, they fall to their death, and they're dead. People not caring, going from hardcore to this server. You'll be able to go from hardcore to a server like this if you want it upon death. So maybe, you know, you got all the gear you wanted. You're like, yeah, look at me, I'm a badass. I did hardcore, but I don't care anymore. I'm going to do a 40-man Blackwing lair. And I'm going to completely wipe people because maybe my internet went down. Oh, geez, isn't that a shame? And there won't really be a way for you to prove otherwise that is the reason why they disconnected. So, or if you just get a regular disconnection, which, by the way, happened to me yesterday. I was playing Diablo, not hardcore, thankfully. And I just lost my internet for a split second. Just a split second. It happens periodically, just to kind of momentarily, quickly lose the internet. And that, to me, is just not acceptable. So for me, the risk is just not worth it, because ultimately, the closing take here is when you get disconnected, your character in the game doesn't automatically vanish upon disconnection. It takes a couple of seconds. And if they could address that for hardcore, servers, that would be cool because there's already not really any world PvP in the traditional sense. So it's like people are getting ganked and they're just like disconnecting from the game, right? So, anyways, whatever. So, yeah, if you liked the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. And if you didn't like the video, well, that's too bad. Go ahead, give it a thumbs down. As always, bend it in half, twist it, break it off in your ass. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, naturally, that would be great. But if not, thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care, and maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.